Welcome back to the Black and Gold Report. We're still joined by head track and field coach Dr. Peter Ormsby. Coach, senior Shaquille Ray led the NCAA Division II runners in both the 100 and 200 meter dashes at the Raleigh Relays and logged 2 top 5 finishes, including a time that was just 2/1000ths of a second off an NCAA provisional qualifying mark in the 100 meter dash. You'd said previously that Shaq's not only a leader on the track, but also a mentor to some of the younger athletes as well. But what are your goals for him over the rest of the season, both in a competitive and leadership role?
Well, one, I think he deserves, two 100s or 2 1000s is very close, and I think they ran the 200 meter again into the wind, which kind of baffled my mind because they were running everything with the wind. So he said actually after the race he could have probably gone 21 low and qualified in the 200, but they just ran it the wrong way. But no, he actually came up to the long jump and everything, was giving kids suggestions on how to change the long jump and approach and triple jump. So it's just a nice addition outside of a coaching standpoint. And then obviously I want to see him do the best he can do for the rest of the season, both at conference, that he's going to add a couple events to help the team out and go forward. So it's just wherever we can get him in and see him shine is what we're trying to do.
Well, freshman Corey Jones was named Peach Belt Conference Field Athlete of the Week after capturing a first place honors in the high jump and third place recognition in the long jump with a leap of 7.05 meters. Corey leads the Peach Belt in the long jump and ranks second in the high jump after clearing 1.99 meters at the Dennis Craddock Carolina Relays. You've had some great performances from not only Corey, but several other jumpers as well. So who are the guys to watch over these last couple of meets of the regular season?
I think there's about a half dozen, and Corey leads it. Corey, Zeke, Tehran, Brandon Bulla, they're all, I was looking at the performance list yesterday morning, and we've got a nice group of 3 or 4 kids that can compete with anybody in the Peach Belt, and obviously with Corey only being about less than 10 centimeters off the Provo for the high jump, and he's excited. I think he jumped in the rain on Friday afternoon for the high jump. So like I said, it's good weather, we're gonna jump through the roof and we're gonna run really fast. It's just getting that break that we need, and all the jumpers and sprinters too.
Well, your throwers and distance runners on the men's side have proven to be contenders in their events as well. What athletes are you expecting to step up and score points at the Peach Belt Conference?
On the guy side, Dylan Perry, Nathan Stanback, and we've got all but one of the throwers qualified in all their events. The distance group is a lot deeper than it was last year. Tim Sigmund ran a great 10K on Friday night, very controlled, so he's got a lot left going into conference. So it's just getting kids with the marks. Obviously, we're going to load up the 5 and the 15 this weekend to get as many kids in the 5 to score. Last year, there's 3 distance kids total. This year, we're taking about 12 to 15 distance kids to the next 2 meets. So it's all on them. We got one more solid week of training, and then we'll start tapering back. But the more points we can get from the throws and the distance is going to help everything else, because the sprint and the jumping is going to carry us.
Well, last year a handful of athletes on the men's and women's teams competed in the decathlon and heptathlon at the Peach Belt Conference Championships. Can you run through those through the different components of each of those events, and are you expecting to enter any of your athletes in those competitions in Montevallo?
We talked about that at the staff meeting this morning. There's a couple of kids that have expressed interest, and especially the guys side for the decathlon. What we don't want to do as a staff is really take away from their individual events. 10 events over 2 days will take a lot out of you. So it's, you could do that whether you're going to score in the conference or not is another thing. We'd rather probably keep our guys in their individual events where they can score the highest and get the most points. On the girls' side, we've got Johnny Perez and Gina Cube that'll probably do the HEP for us this year. So we're going to start playing with some events then over the next 2 weekends just to kind of get them ready.
Well, speaking of Johnny, she holds the school record in the women's 200 meter dash and the heptathlon that she set last season at the Peach Belt Conference Championships. She's had a bit of a slow start to the season, but what is her potential for the league championships, and do you foresee her tackling those records again?
Anything's possible. I know she's been sick a couple times. If she does the HEP, we're just going to tell her to have fun, and that's how she was conference champion last year. That's the same thing we'll do with Jenna, is just have fun, go out there and compete, because they're both solid athletes, and really we're just hitting it at the right stride. I don't think anybody's really banged up right now, so we're just going to conference healthy.
All right, well, thank you so much for being on the show with us today.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you for watching this week's edition of the Black and Gold Report. Until next week, go Braves.